Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the discrimination that trans people face in workplace environments and professional settings in general. So an article published by NBC in July 2022 reported about trans woman Erin Taylor being fired from her job working at a Chick-fil-A in Georgia because of her gender identity. So even though Chick-fil-A is not necessarily known for being supportive of LGBTQA plus identities, it is still extremely problematic that this franchise and other companies as well condone mistreatment of transgender employees. So after Taylor's co-workers became aware that she was transgender, their attitudes became very hostile. Taylor's co-workers started purposefully misgendering her, and one of them even started making violent and transphobic threats. So later, after filing several complaints and leaving a shift early because of harassment, Taylor was fired from that Chick-fil-A. Another article published by Human Rights Watch in June 2022 reported on the struggles of trans people living in Guanajuato, Mexico. So that city, unlike some others, did not currently have legislation in place that would allow for an easy process that allowed trans people to accurately reflect their self-declared gender identity on official documents. So because of the lack of such a law, it made it much more difficult for trans people to acquire and hold down jobs. So 19 people interviewed said that they were discriminated against or humiliated during the recruitment process or mocked at work if they were fortunate enough to secure a job, all because of the discrepancy between what it said on their official documents and their actual gender identity. So both of these articles exemplify the inherent discrimination that affect trans people across the globe who currently are employed. And despite it being illegal to discriminate against LGBTQ plus people in the U.S. because of the Supreme Court case Bausch versus Clayton County in 2020, it still occurs regularly, as it does in other countries which also have anti-discriminatory laws. The inequality present in work environments puts trans people in a particularly vulnerable position because it makes it harder for them to generate a stable income or achieve financial stability, pushing some to either stay or take on lower paying jobs than they could have, or taking on more dangerous jobs than they should have to in order to just get by. Many others hide their gender identity or just leave their jobs altogether in fear of physical violence or harassment. So in order to stop this discrimination, there needs to be clear, positive legislation put in place that protects the rights of trans people in the workplace, and it needs to be effectively enforced by not only the government but everyone in that workplace as well. Professional environments themselves need to transform into spaces where everyone receives equal treatment and opportunity, and everyone expresses welcoming attitudes towards those in the trans community.